Arrroooo! Wild Pack, it's Mama Bear, aka Bernadette, and I am here with your pick a card tarot reading and Animalscopes for the illustrious, beautiful, and hot, depending on what hemisphere you live in. But in Florida, it is hot, 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 hot. Uh, where are we going? July, yes, July 2024. And listen, if I were you, I would grab a cold drink. I would crank my air down. I'd turn on a fan and I'd settle in because the animal that has shown up for you all this month is da, 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 the illustrious, the beautiful, the oh, what a big omen in ways that you probably haven't thought of, ladybug. Yay! And the crowd goes wild. Okay, so this card is from my own deck. I read with my own deck, the Arc Animal Tarot and Oracle deck. And it is one of the Oracle cards. It's not one of the tarot cards. It's not in like the mystery pack. Those of you that work with my cards, you'll know what I mean. Oh, and by the way, let me just announce this. I am furiously, but very happily working on what you guys. You guys have been asking me for years. I'm finally doing it. I have got to finish up a mentorship that I am doing that I just shout out to everybody in my mentorship. They are killing it in the best way. And I am putting together finally the certification for the ARC. And it's a whole long thing that I'm doing, but it's I'm finally doing it. Let me just say that. And I'm really proud of it. It is gonna be something else. So, along with all of that, let me just say this. July, like I said, is hot. And even though the color is green for the month of July, and July is named after Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar, yes. It there I read really, I mean, let's look at the color red, right? Now, not all ladybugs are red. They come in many, many different colors. They come in yellow. Believe this or not, they come in blue. And they're gorgeous in blue. It's like a sapphire-y, gorgeous kind of color. They come in pink. They come in lots of different colors, and there's over 600 species of ladybugs. Now, why I go through all of that is this. Ladybug symbolism is generally overlooked as it's a great sign. It's a sign of good luck. Yay for me. I saw ladybugs or a ladybug. Ooh, I should go play the lotto. Okay, that's true. They are great omens of good luck, that is in their symbolism and meaning. As spirit, totem, and power animals, it's hard to deny that they are symbols of good luck. But they are symbols of so much more for their little biggie selves. I love ladybugs. So let's start with the first symbol, which is there is this absolutely sweet fable that comes out of France that there was some dude during the war, some war, who was about to get beheaded. And a ladybug landed on the back of his neck. And at that time in the UK and surrounding areas and, generally all of Europe, the legend of ladybugs, every place you went, in terms of animal symbolism or animal meanings, you get it. Ladybugs were like, you didn't kill them, you didn't move them, you didn't harm them, you just waited until they did whatever it is that they were going to do. I mean, super, super, super revered critters, just in terms of if you see one, holy moly, the sky is falling, but in a good way. And wow, you were counted very fortunate. You were very grateful when ladybug landed on you, or you saw a bunch of them. You get it. Okay. So as the story goes, this ladybug landed on the back of this old boy's neck, and there it stayed. It wouldn't move for love or money. And so the crowd decided that that was a sign from the Virgin Mary that he shouldn't be put to death. And as the fable goes, just a few days later, they caught the real thief. Oh, yeah, I didn't say this about a thief. So they caught the real thief, and had that guy been beheaded, they would have beheaded the wrong guy, obviously. So that spread, of course, around Europe fast as it could. And that just took ladybugs to a whole different level. Here's what this means for you in this month. Interestingly enough, but not coincidentally, I don't believe in coincidences, but interestingly enough, in the mentorship that I'm doing right now, that I'm teaching, that I'm mentoring, we are working on the throat chakra. It is throat chakra month. So I just think it's super interesting that Ladybug shows up. And one of the big stories of Ladybug is that it lights on the guy's neck. The guy's life is saved, and rightly so. Now, mind you, the ladybug purportedly landed on the back of his neck. But listen, y'all, a neck is a neck, right? Okay. Your throat chakra is your throat chakra. It's not like your throat chakra just is here in this little teeny tiny place that, is your what is it? Your Lord have mercy. Can't think of it. Anyway, it's shaped like a butterfly. You'll know what it is. Somebody will put it in the chat, and I might remember. Who knows? I might actually remember it 30 seconds from now. So thyroid, pretty sure it's your thyroid. So all that being said, I would encourage you this month, before you're ready to lop somebody's head off at the neck, just take a step back and think of this story, because you may be beheading them erroneously, wrongly. Don't do it. But that would extend to yourself as well. Don't chop off your head to spite your face, or however that saying goes. Be very judicious, be very careful about conclusions that you jump to, how you're ready to persecute someone, how you're ready to judge someone. Just take a step back. Now, the other thing the other thing that I love about ladybugs is it's said, one of the facts, you look up facts online, they have hidden wings. No, they don't. Those red things on them that look like a little red helmet, they look like little soldiers marching here and there. They are wings. And if you freak out a ladybug, she's going to open those wings and she's going to. So I love calling ladybugs transformers, ladybugs in disguise, because they just, man, those things can boogie. And they're pretty ferocious looking. I mean, look at Ladybug and that little face and her little fangs. And if you do like a micro thing, looking at Ladybug's faces, I mean, listen, not every bug is a dragonfly, right? They have the sweetest faces, no matter how close you get to them. Ladybugs can be a little terrifying. And they really can. You got to look up pictures of ladybug faces. I should have put one up here. I did. I should have put one up here, but they are terrifying. And so when you're looking at the fable, I mean, it's not really a fable. I guess it looks like they have hidden wings, and they do. Under their red wings, they have another whole set of wings. They're very gossamer. They're very beautiful. That means that you have hidden resources that you don't even know about. And I really want to encourage you. Most people, again, they snap to, well, ladybugs are red. They're not all red. They're yellow. They're blue. They're pink. I don't know if there are any other color. I don't remember that. But those are, don't think that you're going to identify ladybug at just the root chakra because it's red. Don't do that. Realize that they come in lots of different colors. And if the ladybug you see is red, and if you want to equate that to all the things of the root chakra, because intuitively that's what you get, rock on with your ladybug transformers, ladybugs in disguise. I had to work that in. Oh, I'll be singing that all night. So don't unless it feels right, because again, those hidden wings are going to serve you really well when you realize that you don't have to hide them anymore. You don't have to, I mean, whip those puppies out and wherever you want, when you want. And I don't know why. I do not know why, but I know the energy of the wild pack. I know it like it's my own because it is. There is something about flying and utilizing your wings, trusting in your wings, trusting that you can get from A to B or A to B. You can go from A to Z in the blink of an eye. And it's almost like, because you've seen ladybugs, that those red wings that they have that look like little helmets. Ding, 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 ding. Oh God. Uh, this is how my mind works. Um, they protect ladybug well enough, and I would encourage you that you it's like M&Ms. You have a hard outer shell that you may not know that you have. And it's it's going to come in handy in July, and you can't be afraid to utilize it. You can't be afraid to trust in your own quote unquote armor. You just can't. Now, for those of you that have followed me for a while, thank you. Appreciate that. For those of you that haven't, if you're interested in this kind of content, hit the subscribe button, hit the like on this video. It's very helpful to me and everybody who wants to see these videos, because YouTube loves that. They love kudos. So for those of you that have followed me for a while, you'll know that I always say connect the dots, connect the dots, connect the dots. I've got a video coming out about synchronicity, and I had to connect the dots for a client. And just very briefly, what that means is, in her reading, and I have her permission to tell this part of her reading, in her reading, she just was not staying on the train, right? The wheels on the bus didn't go round and round. And she was thinking about things instead of a little bit metaphorically, like literal. Like if I didn't say the word pink with purple polka dots, she didn't want to hear it. So finally, I said, okay, let's try to speak the same language. And I'm telling Spirit right now to bring me specific messages to you that you absolutely cannot deny. You just can't deny them. Well, I mean, you can, but that would be foolish because they'll be so obvious. Okay. So she told me that what she really wants to do is, because she's been in mortgages her whole life, she really wants to set up a company where she works with the elderly women. And for those of their husbands died or their husbands left them in the lurch and they know nothing about finance, they can't even maybe write a check because the hubby took care of that their whole lives until he didn't. So I said, energetically, I feel like that's a good thing. I just don't feel like you'll do a lot of it. And here's why. And I told her why. She's kind of disappointed, but she could see it. So all of a sudden my phone dings and I'm like, I'm so sorry, because I never keep my phone on during readings. It's so rude. And of course I looked down, and it was one of my bestest, dearest friends of 1,000 years, who is one of the number one producing real estate agents where I live. And this gal wants to write reverse mortgages. Real estate mortgages. I explained it to her just like that. She's like, well, and I'm like, okay, let's take this a step further. So why my friend had texted me was, I want to buy a purple PT Cruiser. I had one at one time. It was perfect in every way. I don't know what was wrong with me. I traded it in on a big giant Ford truck. I loved that truck, but I want a purple PT Cruiser again. So, and it was the touring kind with the tan rag top and the tan leather. And anyway, so it was a picture of a purple PT Cruiser, but because that's the color of your crown chakra. And as if that wasn't enough, it was parked in front of Falafel King. We have a Falafel King where I live. And that gal and I had just been talking about Indian head massages. And I was telling her a story about what happened in class, and I had never heard of it before. The class had to explain to me what it was, and we're over in Middle East way, and there it is in front of Falafel King. Okay, so well, India is not part of the Middle East, but you get what I'm saying. So I just looked at this lady, and I was like, "Ma'am, you have to connect the dots. Here it is laid out for you." Well, when she got it, it hit her like a ton of bricks, because some people will get readings and they halfway believe what spirit's telling them, and some people just it right over their heads, and they don't get the beautiful messages that they are being sent by spirit. Now that might sound like I went around the block and back again just to tell the point of this, but I I just can't I can't overstate that you've got to listen to your intuition during July. You've got to connect the dots. And if you start feeling some kind of way or some kind of ways, there are reasons for that. Write them down, journal them. If you get a feeling, a positive one, a not so positive one, if you whatever, go down that trail, connect those dots, because I'm telling you, ladybug energy, it's coming for you in a really good way, because she came upright. She didn't come inverted. Um, and boy, you could have a really big July. A really, really, if you don't die of the heat first, you could have a really, really big July in so many ways. So if you, I forget what the full moon here in June. The buck moon, yeah, the buck moon. Um, During the full moon this month, is that right? The buck moon, pretty sure, because the strawberry moon just happened. Pretty sure of that too. Anyway, I would encourage you. Well, and we're in summer solstice, so good night. I just would encourage you to work with ladybug energy. If you want to call her in as a spirit animal, call her in as a spirit animal. She's red. She represents love, of course, of all the things she represents. If you are having some hard time with love, loving yourself, loving others, love, 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 call on her. She just could bring so many smiles to your face. And if she's your totem, then really make sure that you embrace and daily think of her and talk to her as part of your affirmations, as part of your, I don't know, motivations, what your intentions, whatever. And if she's your power animal, then ask her to protect you, because that's what she did for that guy who did not get his head lopped off because he wasn't a thief. And that's what she does for the environment. Don't get me started on that. We'll be here all day talking about what great things that ladybugs do for the environment. Like, as tiny as they are, a female ladybug can eat like 75 aphids in one day. 75. That's a lot of aphids. Anyway, and you don't want an aphid infestation in your garden. Trust me, I live in Florida. You do not want that for yourself. Anyway, so there are so many things about ladybug that could help you. And I want to mention the wings again. Having trust that you are going to be able to fly wherever you want to go. The hard outer shell, like an M&M. If you need to, utilize that, like I'm up under my, then do it. But she can be a powerful animal ally for you this month. So I hope all of that was super helpful, and I'd love to read in your comments below if you've had experiences with ladybugs and what kind of really cool energy she's brought into your life, how she's changed you. Have you ever seen a blue ladybug up close? That's my big goal in life right now, is to see one of those blue ladybugs. Man, they are so beautiful. And I just I wish you the best July that just out of this world July, so that you get to the end of July and you're like, can you believe that? Can you believe that happened? Can you believe that? Yes, I can believe it. Ladybugs can believe it. Now you just got to believe it. So I'm going to sign off like I always do. Do good for animals, including yourself, and stay wild.